Hello everyone. So today I will introduce you to centroid formulas of different shapes. So I will introduce you on how to compute for the centroids for different shapes. Again, I will ask you the question of why do we need to compute for the centroids for different shapes? Some problems in engineering mechanics, especially those problems that involve the centroids, especially the moments problem, those moments problems also need to you also need to learn some of the centroids of the different shapes. So here are the different types of shapes. These are very common shapes that almost always appear in problems, in engineering mechanics problems. So I will introduce you to some of these shapes and how you will compute the area as well as the centroids of these basic shapes. So I put them all in a table for you to can easily understand. So the first shape is the rectangular shape. So this is the rectangular shape, and we have a base and a height. So a base given and a height given, and we can compute the area of the rectangular shape, base times height. And the centroid is located here. If you base it from the left side, it is C1, and from the right side, it is located at C2. So C1 is base over 2. So you simply divide base by 2. That is the location of the centroid from the left side. The location from the right side is also b over 2. So it is very simple if you have a rectangular form, because the centroid would simply be at the center of that rectangle, which is half the base. So b over 2. What about if the area given is a triangle or triangular form? So for example, like this, we have a base and a height of a triangle. So the area of this triangle is the area 1/2 base times height. That's the area of a triangle, 1/2 base times the height. What about the location of its centroid, C1 and C2? So if you base it from the left side, C1 is equal to 1/3 of the B. So this location C1 is 1/3 of the base. And of course, C2 would be 2/3. If one side is 1/3, the other side would be 2/3. So it would be 2/3 of B. So it is always 1/3 from the heavier side and 2/3 from the lighter side. If what is given is a parabolic spandrel, so it's a parabolic spandrel. This is a form of a parabolic spandrel. So this is a spandrel here with a base B and a height. So base and a height. The area of a parabolic spandrel is given with this form, BH divided by 3, BH over 3. And base and height are usually given in the problem, so you can compute for the area. But what about the centroid of a parabolic spandrel? This is the point of the centroid, or the centroid point. That's the C, point C. So where is it located? It is located C1 or C2. C1 from the left is B over 4. So you divide B by 4, and that would be the location of the centroid from the left side. The right side, so if it is B over 4 on the left, the other side should be 3 over 4. So it's quite easy, right? Because it's B over 4 here. Therefore, what is left is 3 over 4. So 3/4 B from the right side. So that would be the value of C2, location of the centroid from the right side. Here is another form of a parabolic spandrel. So this is just an inverted one from the previous. So that is a B, and the height given of that spandrel. You can also compute the area of the spandrel. It's the same as the previous one, BH times 3. Oh, by the way, it's 2/3 now, right? So previous one was BH over 3. This one is 2/3 BH. Right? It's the other one was 1/3. This one is 2/3 BH. And the location of C1 and C2 are this. So this is C1 and this would be C2. So C1 is 3/8 of B and C2 is 5/8 of B. So remember those formulas. And what about if what is given is a cubic spandrel? So here's an example of a cubic spandrel. So we have a base here and the height. All right, so it's different from the previous one. So this one is different. So it's a cubic spandrel. So the first one, remember, look at the formula of the equation of the curve there is kx squared. Now this one is kx cubed. That is why it is a cubic spandrel, because the curve there is actually raised to the power of 3. It's a cubic, kx to the cube. So if the curve has a cubic equation, such as this, kx cubed, then you use the cubic spandrel. So the cubic spandrel, the area of that spandrel is BH divided by 4. What about the location of C1? C1 is B over 5. So whatever is B divided by 5, that's the location of the centroid from the left side. What is the location of the centroid from the right side? C2, the location is 4/5 of B. So the centroid is 4/5 from the right side. It's 1/5 from the left side, 1/5 of B. All right, so this is for the cubic spandrel. Why is it cubic again? Because the equation says it so, that it is cube, x to the cube. So it is a cubic spandrel. All right. Here's another one for a cubic spandrel. As you can see here, the equation is kx to the cube. Again, this is a cubic spandrel. If the form is like this, then the area for that shape is 3BH divided by 4. 3BH divided by 4. The location of the centroid from the left is 2B over 5. The location of the centroid from the right, which is C2, is 3/5 of B. All right? Just make sure you can differentiate between these formulas here. All right? Just make sure you can differentiate these formulas. And the last one is the general spandrel. So the general spandrel is that if you have an exponent to the n or any other exponent apart from 3 and 2, so you have a general spandrel. And with a base and a height given, you can compute for the area of the general spandrel, which is BH divided by n plus 1. Now we will compute the location of its centroids, C1 and C2. So from the left, which is C1, this is the location of the centroid, B over n plus 2. From the right side, which is C2, the location of the centroid, it has this formula. All right? So I know it is quite difficult to remember all these formulas, but I want you, okay, this would be a little bit of a I want you to ask your teacher or your professor if you are allowed to bring tables like this during examinations or tests. Ask your professor if you are allowed to bring a list of areas or formulas for the centroid of these shapes. So if your teacher would allow you to bring these formulas during tests or exams, then it would be quite easy instead of memorizing each of these areas and centroidal locations. So if you can bring a formula like this, please ask your professor if he would allow you to bring or to at least open these formulas during examinations or tests. During my time, we were actually allowed to bring a little bit of a cheat sheet like this during exams. So it is quite easy actually if you have all this with you, instead of memorizing it. So if you have some questions, please leave some comments below, and please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, or please subscribe to the channel. All right, we will have more of these kinds of videos in the future. See ya.